Hello everyone, this is Running on Empty Food Review. Well, hello ladies, gentlemen, and everyone watching. Welcome one and all to this newest edition of the Running on Empty Food Review series. I'm your host, the Report of the Week. Thank you for checking in. Been a couple days, but I am back. I have returned. I wasn't taken out for that scathing Popeyes review or anything. They didn't get me yet. And I figured, well, what to try next? What'll be the next item or meal or whatever it might be to review? And I saw that McDonald's actually came out with a few more new releases. It's interesting how it is now. There was, for the last few years anyway, McDonald's very rarely released new items, and it wasn't always like that. You know, you go back to 2015, 2016, there were lots of new releases from McDonald's, but then they sort of stopped for a while. And now they're really picking back up again. Honestly, there have been quite a few releases. 2 reviews today, 2 in 1. First, I'm going to be trying out a sandwich, and then I'm going to be trying out, I guess you'd call it a dessert, an ice cream. They have brought back a Quarter Pounder, and they have released a new McFlurry. So again, 2 for 1 this review is going to be. So it's going to be fast. First and foremost, the burger they have brought back is the Smoky BLT Quarter Pounder. I have reviewed this before. I tried it out when they released it back in 2022, and I loved it. I mean, I gave this thing a 9 out of 10. I checked back at the review that I did. I thought it was a great burger. So it's going to be interesting to see if they maintain the standards or not with this one. But here is what's on it. It has a 1/4 pound beef patty. It comes with American cheese, bacon strips, Roma tomatoes, lettuce, and then, hence the name, it comes with a smoky BLT sauce. They describe it as being sweet and tangy, with a little bit of a hint of garlic, as well as some paprika, parsley, and black pepper. And the price for this Quarter Pounder does vary based on location, so there is not a flat rate for this or anything like that. The price is anywhere between $7 and $9. I paid $8 for this Quarter Pounder by itself, but again, price will fluctuate depending on where you are. I think there were a few locations all the way on the West Coast that some people said they might have even been paying $9.50 for it. But again, in my case, I paid $8, but some folks have gotten it for as low as $7. So between that $7 and $9 range, approximately, with a few exceptions, I'm sure. And again, I tried it out I guess it was 2 years ago now, and I really liked it. I mean, I thought it was great. I gave it a 9 out of 10, like I said, so we'll see how this is, see if they're maintaining the standards or not. As always, it comes in the standard box right there with flavors to love, so they claim. There it is. Could see some of the bacon strips, the American cheese. A lot of lettuce. Heavy on the lettuce. One thing I remember, back in 2022, that is, was how picturesque. Oh, there's a tomato hiding. Right there. How picturesque the burger that I received at the time was. This one looks more how you'd expect, but I remember the one that I got back then, it was like, it looked like the ad. It almost looked better than the ad, quite frankly. Might say, review bro, what are you doing? There's the tomato. I'm looking at the top bun right here, and if my eyes do not deceive me, I think I see some pickles, and who knows? Looks as though they put some pickles and some ketchup and mustard on the top bun. Maybe they were starting to make a starting to do it like how they might do a a double hamburger or a McDouble. And then they realized, oh wait, that's not what this is. And then they just covered it up, it looks like, with some lettuce and the sauce. That's funny. Well, nothing I can do about that now. So, granted, there's a chance that that'll mess things up. I have no idea. But, I'm just going to go in. Let's see how it tastes. Let's see. Maybe this is going to be the key, the secret, right? And now everyone's going to get it with some lettuce, or not talking about, with some ketchup and mustard and pickles and the like. Who knows? All right. So they added a few ingredients that they shouldn't have. It is what it is in the end. Let's just try it out, see how it is. The Smoky BLT Quarter Pounder from McDonald's going in. Hmm. It's not a bad burger by any means. There's a difference between something that's repulsive and disgusting, and something that it's like, I don't even want to take another bite of this. There's a difference between that and I think we've all been here, right? When you have something one time and it is so good, right? It tastes so good. It's like, this is amazing. This is way better than I thought it was going to be. And then you try it again, and had you not have had it so good the first time, maybe it would have been acceptable, maybe just barely, maybe it still would have been like, it's a little iffy. But you notice the second time that it's like, wait a minute, this isn't like how I remember it being. That's one of those experiences. You see, when I tried it out last 2 years ago, like I said, I loved the thing. I gave it a 9 out of 10. I thought this is one of the best quarter pounders from McDonald's that I've had. And the thing that I really liked about it was, yes, the quality of all the ingredients, but it was that smoky BLT sauce. Because, yes, there was, as described, this tanginess to it, this sweet note, but they nailed the smokiness as well. And, it just paired so nicely with, of course, the beef patty, but likewise, the bacon strips as well. So the sauce was really what made it. I tried it this year, and number one, as you can see, it didn't look, and you could go back to the original review if you wish, and you could see the difference visually, that it didn't look as picturesque, number one. Alright, so be it, it's fast food, right? Who cares? You're not really expecting it to look like the ad. I mean, I wish, right? It's a shame that the standards are that low, but anyway. So, alright, it looks a certain way. Then they threw on some ingredients that, you couldn't really taste them. I mean, there was a little bit of the tartness from the pickles, but I mean, it's not supposed to be there, so that's another little thing. Okay, the beef is fine for what it is. I always like with the quarter pounders that they always seem to be tender, and there's a good amount of beef, of course. It has that salt pepper seasoning to it. the beef is fine. It's of decent quality. I really can't complain. And same thing with the bacon. It has this little fattiness to it, but a little crisp as well. Flavorful and pairs nicely. And all the other ingredients, the lettuce is stringy, not the highest quality in the world. The tomato, though, is okay. They're small, but they're all right. Then that leaves me with that BLT, the Smoky BLT sauce. It's not like how it was back in 2022, I'm afraid. That sweetness and even that tanginess that I remember, and they even tell you what it's supposed to taste like, that was missing. And while there's a smoky note, somehow I don't know if they changed something or what, but the sauce almost it tastes almost more of a char, and more of like a charred taste to it than anything else. That by itself may not necessarily be bad, per se, but it depends on the context. This, when I bite in, I don't really taste any garlic anymore. I don't taste this, there's no sweetness to it, and not really any tanginess. I just bite in and it tastes charred to me. And that's awfully disappointing. There's just not much to the sauce except for this charred flavor, and that leaves a lot to be desired, because, like I said, that sauce back in 2022 was perfect. It really was, and I don't say that often. This, on the other hand, a huge step down from what I tried back then, and even forgetting that, pretending like I never even tried that original back then, still, it's like, all right, this still isn't all that enjoyable. It's not necessarily bad, it's not disgusting, but honestly, this would taste better without the sauce. The sauce actually detracts from it at this point, because you've had those instances where you have a burger and maybe there's an element to it that's a bit overcooked, and you bite in and sure, everything else can be excellent, but then you taste that charred flavor, just like it's a bit overdone, this little almost burnt flavor, and that it permeates. I mean, you taste it and it's not going to go away. And then to make a sauce taste like that, like I said, I know they were trying to capture the smoky element, but I don't know if they changed something. I don't know if they cut corners. I don't know if this is a local issue or what. But what I received here, quality of the sauce is subpar and detracts from it. So I would pass on this. Very disappointing, the fact that it was so good, and now it's taken a step down from there. It's not necessarily bad to the point where, yeah, I could tolerate it. You could have another bite or two and still fine. Everything is good except for the sauce, which there's a good amount of it, so it's sort of unsalvageable in that regard, but disappointing, slightly overpriced too. So I'm going to rate the Smoky BLT Quarter Pounder from McDonald's. I'm going to give it a 5.5 out of 10. Yeah, well, that's a big step down from a 9 to a 5, but that's what the sauce will do sometimes. All right, and now, here we go. Separate review, and let's hope this is good. Fingers crossed, anyway. It's going to be watching you. Kit-Kat Banana Split McFlurry. Something that'll hopefully get rid of that taste. Maybe some water will, too. A new McFlurry. They did the Grandma McFlurry. Now we're at the Kit-Kat Banana Split. Vanilla soft serve as the base. Then it comes with KitKat candy bar pieces, and mixed in, likewise, is a mixture of banana and strawberry clusters. It's available at the price of $5 for the McFlurry. And you can see, this again is supposed to be like a banana split with some KitKat pieces mixed in, which I would wager are there with some banana and strawberry. And I will try it out now. They didn't include a spoon, so I'm supplying my own. Here's a close-up look of it. I could, if you want to go there, you could pretend I'm feeding you. All right, open up. Here it comes. Woo. Yeah, I know, that's... Now everyone's life is complete after seeing that. All right, it's going in. paused it for the sake of time. Well, to finally be the bearer of good news, at least to end the review on maybe a little bit of a lighter note, this is thankfully much better than that burger was. Now, granted, you could say it ought to be rather difficult to, mess up some vanilla soft serve ice cream, and that is understandable, but it is good. I don't know how well you could really see in there, but there's little wafer pieces in there, as well as chocolate chips, and again, little bits of strawberry and banana. I will say what I notice here the most are a few aspects. I don't necessarily think banana split when I have this, and that's not necessarily a bad thing though, because it still tastes good. But I would say that the banana flavor is actually the weakest of all of them. As a matter of fact, I can taste the strawberry much, much more than the banana. That was actually one of the first things that I really noticed here. The ice cream, of course, as a base, very good. Sweet, of course, but very smooth likewise. Vanilla ice cream goes very nicely, of course, with all the ingredients and components here. And you have the chocolate chips in chunks, which are a little chewy, but especially you have those wafers that are, that's like the KitKat element. A little bit of a crunch to those, so texturally you're going to notice that. But complements it nicely, of course. Again, nice little texture to it. It does taste like a KitKat bar, which pairs very nicely with all of the ingredients. And what I notice again is the strawberry element as opposed to the banana, which, so you see the name, Kit-Kat Banana Split McFlurry. Nothing really about strawberry at all, but it is there, and the strawberry is actually more flavorful than the banana, which, depends on your view of things. That might be good or bad. As far as what it actually tastes like, it tastes good. It's a nice, pleasant, sweet little dessert. And again, I think a lot of you would probably like that textural element to it, and that difference between the smoothness of the soft serve and then that little, crunchy flakiness even to the Kit Kat pieces. But I mean, it tastes good. Tastes good, all things considered. And just be aware though that it is going to be more strawberry than banana. You could still taste the banana, don't get me wrong, but if you go into this thinking, I love banana, and I'm really looking forward to it, then you might be a little disappointed. But I mean, it still tastes good. It's a pleasant little dessert. $5 for it, which, at least it's heavy on the toppings, but even that's a little overpriced. But all things considered, definitely much happier with this than I am that Quarter Pounder. So therefore, out of 10, I'm going to be rating this McFlurry out of 10. I'm going to give it an 8.2 out of 10. Definitely better, at least, than the burger. And I'm sorry, that this had to be another negative review in some ways, but my policy, is that I'll get what I get, and I'll review what I get, and I just try to be open and transparent as to my thoughts regarding what I get. I know you'll see people that'll say, quit being so negative, etc., but I mean, I'll just I'll share my thoughts as they are on what I receive, and if the quality is what it is and there's 20 negative reviews in a row, then so be it. It's not something I'm going to back down from. And if everything gets better, which I would sure like to see, and there's 20 positive reviews in a row, then that's how it'll be. So I review what I get, and that's all that there is to it. But it would be very disingenuous of me to sit here and just because some people complained that they want them to be more positive, that then I lied to you all and gave you a false review. That's not right. And that's all that I have for you. Thank you for watching, and until next time, I'm your host, The Report of the Week.